Picture this, the late 1980s, a time of big hair, bold music, and even bolder ambitions. Automakers were locked in a race to build bigger, faster, and more luxurious cars. In the heart of this battle stood General Motors, a titan of industry with a dream. They wanted to create a new brand, a challenger that could take on the German giants BMW and Mercedes, and the rising star from Japan, Lexus. That dream was given a name, Saturn. But Saturn wasn't just another nameplate destined for the showroom floor. No, this was supposed to be a full-blown revolution, a company within a company, with its own unique DNA. It would have different factories, a completely different sales system, and most importantly, a different culture. GM didn't just dip their toes in the water, they dove in head first, pouring over $5 billion into this ambitious project. And for a little while, it seemed like the gamble was paying off. The revolution was working. Customers fell in love with the experience. The no-haggle pricing and friendly dealership staff were a breath of fresh air. The cars themselves, like the popular S-Series, were praised for their reliability and affordability. Saturn was the talk of the town, an underdog story playing out in real time. It was rising fast, a shining star in the automotive galaxy. But as we all know, success can be the most dangerous fuel of all. The brighter the star, the darker the shadow it casts. By the mid-90s, Saturn was a certified hit. It had a cult following and was stealing customers from its rivals. But back at GM headquarters, trouble was brewing. The other divisions, Chevrolet, Pontiac, Buick, started to see Saturn not as a sibling, but as a threat. "Why are we pouring billions into this different company?" they asked, "when we already have established brands to support?" The corporate antibodies began to attack the very thing that made Saturn special. GM executives, feeling the pressure, started tightening the purse strings. The funding for genuine innovation, for new designs and next-generation technology that Saturn's engineers desperately needed, began to dry up. They begged for the resources to keep the dream alive, to evolve. Instead, they were handed a corporate mandate. Use what we already have. This was the beginning of the end. Parts from other GM cars started being forced onto Saturn models. The unique platform was compromised. The once distinct brand slowly started to look like, well, just another GM car with a different badge. The magic was fading. That $5 billion dream was starting to look like a $5 billion burden. Then came the early 2000s, and with them, the biggest mistake of all. In a misguided attempt to grow, GM decided Saturn needed to go global. But this wasn't a global expansion built on Saturn's core principles. Instead of designing new, uniquely American cars, they took a shortcut. They started rebadging Opels, GM's European brand, and selling them as Saturns in the US. The Saturn Aura was a rebadged Opel Vectra. The Astra was an Opel Astra. The View was redesigned to share a platform with European models. Saturn's identity, already weakened, was now completely erased. The brand that was built on being a different kind of company was now selling cars that weren't even its own. Dealers were confused, trying to sell European-engineered cars to a customer base that had signed up for something else entirely. And those loyal customers, the ones who had believed in the Saturn promise, now just saw recycled models with the same old problems they could find anywhere else. The trust was broken. Predictably, sales plummeted. The brand that once symbolized American innovation was now hemorrhaging cash, a ghost of its former self. And then, the knockout blow. The 2008 global financial crisis hit the auto industry like a tidal wave. General Motors, already struggling, was drowning in debt. The U.S. government stepped in with a massive bailout, but it came with strict conditions. Hard choices had to be made. Brands would have to be cut. As GM executives went down the list of their brands, Chevrolet, Cadillac, Buick, GMC, they knew some wouldn't make it. Pontiac was on the chopping block. Hummer was on the chopping block. And Saturn was not on the list to be saved. In 2009, GM officially announced that the Saturn brand would be shut down. There was a flicker of hope, a last-minute deal where Penske Automotive, the massive dealership group, would buy the brand and contract with another manufacturer to build the cars. For a moment, it looked like Saturn might survive. But that deal collapsed at the 11th hour. It was over. The factories went dark. The iconic logos were taken down from dealerships. After nearly 25 years, billions of dollars invested and millions of cars sold, the Saturn experiment was finished. The story of Saturn is more than just a business case study. It's a lesson written in steel, plastic, and memory. It's a tragic epic about how even the most brilliant billion-dollar dreams can be dismantled from the inside if the people in charge forget why they started in the first place. Saturn wasn't killed by bad cars or a lack of customer love. It was killed by corporate fear, by internal politics, and by the refusal to let a truly innovative idea remain independent. You can't build a different kind of company by using the same old ways of thinking. So the next time you see an old sun-faded Saturn driving down the road, take a second look. It's not just a car. It's a ghost of what could have been. It's a testament to a revolution that almost was, and a billion-dollar reminder that even giants can fall when they lose their way. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy digging into these automotive stories, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more. We'll see you in the next one.